Right now you think strength is muscle money or influence. That's the illusion the world sold you. Big arms in the gym, a fat bank account, 1,000 people clapping your name. But if tomorrow you lost it all, would you still be strong? Or would you crumble like the millions of men and women who only looked powerful until the ground gave way beneath them? True strength is not what you show. True strength is invisible. It's the silent will that doesn't break when the storm comes. It's the calm stare of someone who has already walked through hell and learned to stop begging for comfort. Most people are weak, and deep down they know it. They chase ease, they chase pleasure, they chase validation. They wake up looking for comfort, and because of that, they collapse the moment life stops being kind. You see it everywhere. The man who loses his job and never recovers, the woman who's broken forever by betrayal. The people who drown in debt, in fear, in shame, because no one ever taught them that the world is not here to reward your goodness. The world is sharpening its knives while you scroll, while you waste your nights, numbing yourself with food, drinks, distractions, and lies. This video is not here to motivate you. Motivation fades. This is about something much darker, much harder, and much more real. It's about forging yourself into steel so cold, so unyielding that nothing, no fear, no pain, no failure can bend you. If you came here looking for comfort, leave now. But if you want to become inhumanly strong, if you want to become the kind of person no one can manipulate, no one can break, no one can stop, then stay. Because from this point on, every word you hear is a weapon, and that weapon is meant for you. You've been lied to about strength your entire life. You've been told it lives in muscle, in money, in titles, and the way other people look at you. But those things are fragile decorations, nothing more than paint on a wall that can be washed away overnight. You can spend 10 years carving a body in the gym, and one accident takes it all. You can spend 20 years building wealth, and one betrayal drains every account. You can gather followers and applause, and in one moment of silence they all turn their eyes away. If your strength can vanish when circumstances shift, then it was never strength at all, it was an illusion. True strength is invisible. It doesn't flash in the mirror or echo in applause. It is silent, cold, and hidden in the will. It's the unshakable stare of the man who has already accepted loss, the calm posture of the woman who refuses to beg the world for mercy. Real strength is the ability to keep walking when the ground is burning beneath your feet, to keep moving forward when every comfort has been stripped away. Look around you and you'll see the opposite everywhere. People cling to visible trophies because it helps them hide how weak they truly are. They flex muscles they can't command. They show off luxuries they can't live without. They build identities out of shallow symbols because they're terrified of being tested. But life is testing you every day. It watches to see where you will break. The unpaid bill, the betrayal you didn't see coming, the rejection that keeps you awake at night. For most people, that's enough to shatter them. But extraordinary men and women use these moments as fuel. They don't pray for the storm to pass. They sharpen themselves on it. They know that the world is not fair, not waiting to reward kindness, not impressed by potential. The world is sharpening its knives, and the only question is whether you'll meet it with illusions or with a strength no one can see, no one can steal, and no one can break. This is the first truth. If your power depends on the world, you are weak. If it depends on your will, you cannot be touched. Comfort is the sweetest poison you will ever taste. It comes dressed as safety, disguised as happiness, but underneath it is decay. Look at the world around you. Men wake up late, scrolling on their phones, chasing distractions to keep their minds numb. Women fill the silence with chatter, shopping, entertainment, anything to avoid the sting of solitude. Everyone clings to routines like a child holding onto a blanket, terrified of letting go. They confuse comfort with life, but in truth, it's slow death. And then the moment comes when life withdraws its mercy. A pink slip on the desk. A betrayal in the dark. A doctor's diagnosis that strips away the illusion of health. Watch what happens. Then these people collapse. They scream that it isn't fair, as if fairness was ever promised. They wither under pressure because they have never trained to stand without a pillow beneath them. One setback and they are shattered. One betrayal and they are broken. Their souls are soft because comfort has been their master. Machiavelli warned that rulers who grow too soft inside their own walls lose their crowns. History proves it kings who surrounded themselves with luxury lost the hunger that once built their kingdoms. Soldiers fed on feasts forgot how to endure hunger on the battlefield. A nation wrapped in silk always falls to a nation hardened by fire. Comfort rots the core, and once the core is gone, collapse is inevitable. The same law applies to you. If you are hiding inside comfort, you are already losing. If your day is designed only to feel good, you are rehearsing weakness. You are telling the world, I am not ready for cruelty, and cruelty will come whether you invite it or not. This is the bitter truth. Every moment of ease you choose at the expense of growth makes you weaker. Every night you sink into distraction instead of sharpening your edge, the edge dulls. Every luxury you refuse to give up voluntarily will be stripped from you violently. Comfort is not neutral, it is corrosion. And if you don't destroy it first, it will destroy you. Most people wait for pain to find them. They live in comfort praying that the storm won't arrive, and when it does, they break, because they were never prepared to stand inside it. But the strong, those rare few who refuse to be bent, do the opposite. They don't wait for life to impose suffering. They choose it, they court it, they command it. Because the one who selects his pain becomes immune to it. Think of a blade being forged. Steel is not born sharp. It is beaten, burned, drowned, beaten again, until it becomes something lethal. You are that steel. Every hardship you embrace willingly is another strike of the hammer, another blast of the furnace, another plunge into the cold water. If you do not volunteer for these trials, life will deliver them on its own terms, and you will not survive the impact. But if you choose them first, you are already tempered before the blow arrives. This is why you must cut out every softness that dulls your edge. Wake earlier than your body demands. Work longer than your mind thinks it can endure. Strip away the luxuries you secretly know are weakening you. Skip the comfort meal. Push through the extra hour. Deny yourself the indulgence that whispers you deserve it. Every denial is a declaration I command myself, not the world, not my weakness, not my fear. Pain is not the enemy. It is the drill sergeant that trains you. It is the harsh tutor that sharpens your resolve. When you control your suffering, it cannot be used against you. Hunger becomes proof of discipline. Fatigue becomes a message of obedience. Loneliness becomes a weaponized state of independence. But if you hide from pain, it hunts you. If you wait for life to choose your hardships, it will choose the ones you fear most. And when that happens, you'll have no armor. The world will crush you because you never learned how to stand when stripped bare. The strong man flips the script. He walks into the storm on purpose. He bleeds before he has to. He suffers by choice, so when suffering comes, he smiles. Because he's already been there. He's already owned it. And the man who owns his pain owns his power. The battlefield is not outside. It begins inside your own head. Most people lose the war before it even starts, because they never learned to master their thoughts. They speak before they think. They react before they calculate. They reveal themselves without realizing it. Their minds are like unlocked houses, doors, wide open windows unguarded, inviting anyone to walk in and plant seeds of fear, doubt, and desire. That is why they are so easily manipulated. A rumor appears, and they believe it. A threat surfaces, and they retreat. A temptation glitters, and they grab it without question. They are ruled not by their will, but by every impulse that passes through them. But the strong, the few who rise above the herd, seal their gates. They treat every thought like a soldier standing at the border. Not all are allowed in. Fear must be inspected. Does it serve me, or is it noise meant to weaken me? Desire must be questioned. Does this serve my mission, or does it enslave me to hunger? Even anger is held on a leash. Will it sharpen my strike, or will it expose my weakness? If a thought does not prove useful, it is turned away at the gate. This discipline transforms you. You stop being predictable. Insults do not move you. Pressure does not rush you. Even victory does not make you careless because you know victory is never final. You begin to move with quiet certainty, and this unsettles people. They cannot read you, they cannot guess you, and fear grows fastest in the dark. Understand this: when your mind is a fortress, no enemy can walk inside and bend you. They may strike your body, they may strip your possessions, but they cannot move your judgment. You answer only to yourself. You are no longer a prisoner of moods, nor a servant to impulse. This is why Machiavelli admired rulers who could stand in chaos and remain calm, leaders who rationed even their joy, because too much joy makes a man careless. They chained their rage until it was time to strike, stored their compassion until it served their advantage, and revealed nothing until it was too late. The man who commands his mind commands his fate, and the one who fortifies his thoughts becomes untouchable. A man who cannot command his own body cannot command anything. Yet, look at the world today. People negotiate with their flesh as if it were a spoiled child. I'll work if I feel rested. I'll move if I feel motivated. I'll push, but only if it's comfortable. This is weakness disguised as self-care. It is slavery, not mastery. Your body was never meant to be the master. It was designed to obey. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler who cannot control his household is unfit to control a state. The same law applies to you. If you cannot control your own flesh, you will never control your destiny. You can build a fortune, gather an army, or rise in power, but if your body refuses your command, all of it crumbles. Understand this: the body is not a shrine to be worshipped, not a mirror to be admired. Vanity is weakness in disguise. Men who train only for applause are not strong. They are slaves to approval. The moment the body weakens, their pride collapses with it. True power is different. True power is commanding your flesh like a soldier. It is a tool, nothing more, and like any tool it dulls if not used. Ask yourself, can you rise at dawn without hesitation? Can you endure hunger without complaint? Can you keep working when exhaustion begs you to quit? These are not fitness questions. They are power questions. Each time you push beyond the body's demand for comfort, you are proving that willpower rules and flesh submits. And when pain comes, as it always does, you no longer fear it. Every drop of sweat becomes a message: I control you. Every ache becomes confirmation. You belong to me, not the other way around. This discipline bleeds into everything else. A man who quits because he is tired will also quit when he is betrayed. A woman who cannot endure hunger will collapse when life takes more than a meal from her. The first battlefield is the body. Win here, and the world can throw its worst without breaking you. Command yourself completely. When you say move, you move. When you say endure, you endure. When you say fight, you fight. The man whose body obeys his will is feared, because if he can conquer himself, what chance does anyone else have? Weak men cling to everything. They cling to comfort, to security, to relationships that drain them, to habits that rot them from within. They hoard pleasures and conveniences like treasure, terrified of losing them. But in the end, life rips it all away at once. Comfort vanishes. People betray them. Fortunes collapse. Health decays. And because they never practiced letting go, they die screaming, crushed by losses they could have trained to endure. The strong man does the opposite. He sacrifices first. He chooses what to lose before the world chooses for him. He abandons the luxuries softening his edge. He cuts away the alliances that weaken him. He walks away from the easy road even when it promises safety. He bleeds on his own terms because he knows the law of power: what you refuse to surrender willingly will eventually be stolen from you violently. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the commander discarding excess baggage before battle. It is the sculptor chiseling away every piece of stone that does not belong to the statue. You are that statue, and your greatness is revealed only when weakness has been chipped away. Every sacrifice you make is not loss, but refinement. Every comfort you burn is a signal that you are shaping yourself into something sharper, harder, more dangerous. This is why the man who embraces sacrifice terrifies others. He cannot be bribed by comfort, slowed by luxury, or paralyzed by loneliness. When others fear losing money, he has already learned to live lean. When others fear sleeping alone, he has already walked that road in silence. When others cling to status, he has already let it die. What can they take from him? Nothing. He is untouchable because he has already given away everything they could use to chain him. Machiavelli praised rulers who placed survival above sentiment. They looked ruthless, but in truth they were free from the fear of loss. Sacrifice gives you that freedom. Start small, refuse one indulgence, cut one weakness, deny yourself one easy escape. With each act you carve away what softens you. With each cut you step closer to power. The weak cling until the world tears their hands apart. The strong release first, and in letting go they rise untouchable. Predictability is weakness. A predictable man is a puppet, his strings visible for anyone to pull. One insult and he erupts with rage. One compliment and he melts into obedience. One temptation and he rushes blindly forward. He believes he is free, but in truth he is a machine with visible buttons. All it takes is the right pressure, and his enemies own him completely. The strong man removes those buttons. He masters concealment. He becomes unreadable. When anger stirs in his chest, his face remains calm. When pleasure warms his heart, he shows nothing. When fear whispers in his ear, no one can detect it. His emotions may exist, but they are chained, hidden, stored away. For the rare moment they serve his strategy. And because no one can measure him, they begin to fear him. People do not fear what they understand, they fear what they cannot predict. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must be both lion and fox. The lion strikes with power, but the fox survives through deception. To be only one is to invite destruction. To embody both is to be untouchable. Unreadability is this fusion. It is not chaos. It is not recklessness. It is control, the ability to decide what to reveal and what to conceal, when to advance and when to wait, when to forgive and when to destroy. Consider the predator in the wild. The most terrifying beast is not the one that roars loudly announcing its presence. It is the one that moves in silence, appearing only when it chooses to strike. Its very absence creates fear. People imagine its power as larger than life because they cannot see its limits. That is the effect of mystery. It enlarges you, magnifies your presence, makes others hesitate before they dare to move against you. Unpredictability is a weapon sharper than any blade. When others expect rage, you respond with silence. When they expect forgiveness, you strike. When they expect surrender, you advance. Each defiance of expectation rewrites their perception of you until they no longer know what you are capable of. And when no one knows, no one can control you. The man who is unreadable cannot be cornered. The one wrapped in mystery cannot be broken. Because fear lives not in what is known, but in the shadows of what cannot be measured. Up to this point, you've seen fragments of strength, the destruction of comfort, the choosing of pain, the mind turned into a fortress, the body forced into obedience, the ruthless embrace of sacrifice, the aura of mystery that unsettles all who look your way. Each of these is powerful on its own, but alone they are incomplete. A fortress with cracks still falls. A blade sharpened on only one side still breaks. True power is not one discipline mastered. It is all of them fused together until no weakness remains. This is what makes a man unbreakable, when his body bends only to his will, when his mind filters every thought like a soldier at the gate, when he treats comfort as the poison it is, when he cuts away weakness with sacrifice, and when his very presence radiates mystery that no one can penetrate. Each pillar reinforces the others. A disciplined body fuels a disciplined mind. A fortress mind endures chosen pain. Sacrifice frees him from comfort. Mystery multiplies the fear of his strength. The fusion makes him more than human. Picture this man in the chaos of life. Others crumble under betrayal, but he stands silent, calculating. Others panic when stripped of wealth, but he moves forward unfazed because he was never attached to possessions. Others cry when friends abandon them, but he walks alone without hesitation because he trained himself to be whole without approval. He is not a man easily read, not a man easily cornered. He is the storm that others hope to survive, the figure that bends reality, because he cannot be bent himself. Machiavelli knew that power is never one thing. A prince who relies only on force becomes predictable. A ruler who depends only on cunning becomes distrusted. But the one who fuses the lion and the fox, the hammer, and the blade, the mask, and the strike, that ruler becomes untouchable. That ruler commands fear and respect without asking, and so must you. If you master only your body but neglect your mind, you will fail. If you sharpen your mind but cling to comfort, you will fail. If you embrace sacrifice but show your emotions openly, you will fail. Only by fusing all of these laws into one being do you become the man who cannot be broken, cannot be manipulated, cannot be stopped. The unbreakable are not born. They are forged through fusion. At the end of all this, everything comes down to a decision. Not theory, not talk, not the nodding of heads or the thrill of watching a video. A choice. Because most people will hear these words, feel a spark of energy, maybe even repeat a quote to a friend, and then go right back to the same patterns that made them weak in the first place. They will return to comfort, return to distractions, return to the soft routines that have always chained them. And that is why most people never rise. But if you've listened this far, if something inside you hasn't looked away, then you are not like most people. You already feel the sting of truth, the sense that weakness has been poisoning you longer than you admit. You know that comfort has dulled your edge, that fear has dictated your choices, that emotions have pulled your strings like a puppet. And if you know it, you can no longer ignore it. The question is, what will you do now? Will you keep scrolling, feeding the same impulses that keep you powerless? Or will you wake tomorrow and choose pain before it chooses you? Will you build your mind into a fortress brick by brick, or will you leave it wide open for the world to manipulate? Will you command your body like a soldier, or let it continue to command you? Will you sacrifice the comforts that rot you, or cling to them until they are ripped away violently? Will you remain predictable, or will you become unreadable, a shadow? Others fear to cross. Every man and woman faces this crossroad, but only the ruthless walk the harder road. Strength is not given. It is taken, carved from your own flesh, forged from your own fire, paid for in the currency of suffering and sacrifice. Most will not pay that price. But you must decide, will you be like the masses, soft and forgettable, or will you transform into something steel, something beyond their comprehension, something that cannot be bent? The world is not getting easier. It is getting sharper, colder, more hostile. And in that world, only the unbreakable will rise. So choose now. Will you cling to weakness, or will you forge yourself into strength no one can touch? Strength is not about what you can show the world. It's not the muscle in the mirror, the car in the driveway, or the followers on your screen. Real strength is invisible. It's the ability to command yourself when no one is watching. It's the discipline to suffer on purpose before life forces you to. It's the will to sacrifice comforts today so you can't be broken tomorrow. The lessons are clear. Comfort is poison. If you hide in it, life will rip it away when you're weakest. Instead, train yourself to endure discomfort. Daily, wake earlier, work longer. Push your body and your mind beyond the point they want to quit. Pain is not your enemy. It is your weapon, your teacher, your proof that you are in control. Sacrifice is freedom. When you let go of what others worship, money, approval, comfort, you become untouchable. No one can bribe you, tempt you, or chain you. And mystery is armor. The less predictable you are, the more others fear to cross you. Control your emotions, conceal your intentions, and let uncertainty become your shield. Together, these truths form the path to becoming unbreakable. Not just strong for a season, not just admired until circumstances shift, but strong in a way no one can strip away. The kind of strength that terrifies enemies, inspires allies, and builds a life that cannot be shaken. Now the choice is yours. Will you return to weakness, to comfort, to the routines that have kept you ordinary? Or will you begin today to carve yourself into steel? If this message hit you, don't let it fade. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. The weak will scroll away. The strong will stay. Which one are you?